Good morning, students. Today we will continue with our chapter number 5, the excretory system. Here's the diagram of the longitudinal section of a human kidney. So each kidney has two distinct layers, the renal medulla and the renal cortex. The medulla contains cone-shaped structures called pyramids. The renal pyramids, which are made up of millions of microscopic filtering units called nephrons or renal tubules. Each nephron consists of a cup-shaped structure called the Bowman's capsule. The Bowman's capsule continues behind in the narrow, convoluted, that is twisted tubule, and opens into the collecting ducts. All the collecting ducts then pass through the medulla and enter the renal pelvis, which opens into the ureter. The Bowman's capsule encloses a network of blood capillaries called the glomerulus. The Bowman's capsule and glomerulus together form the Malpighian body. Each kidney receives its blood supply from the renal artery and is drained off by the renal vein. On entering the kidney through the hilus, each renal artery divides into a number of branches called arterioles. These arterioles enter into the renal cortex. Here, each arteriole is divided into the fine branches. The branch of arteriole which enters the Bowman's capsule is called efferent arteriole. The efferent arteriole breaks up into a thin capillaries forming a knot called glomerulus. The glomerulus emerges out as the efferent arteriole. The efferent arteriole is wider than the efferent arterioles. The efferent arteriole, after leaving the glomerulus, forms a dense network of capillaries called the secondary capillary network. The tiny vessels of the network lead to a larger vessel, and eventually the blood is carried to one of the two renal veins. The renal vein carries the blood back towards the heart. The process of formation of urine includes three processes: the glomerular filtration, the tubular reabsorption, the tubular secretion, and finally the excretion. First, the process of glomerular filtration. It occurs in the glomerulus, which receives the impure blood through different arterioles of the renal artery. The blood entering the glomerulus mainly contains water, with dissolved salts, urea, uric acid, and glucose. The narrowing of the blood capillaries causes an increase in the pressure of the blood, due to which the water and insoluble molecules present in the blood get filtered out into the cavities of the Bowman's capsule. The filtrate of the glomerulus passes through the thin wall of the Bowman's capsule and moves forward in the renal tubule, where the reabsorption of the useful substances such as glucose, amino acids, water, and inorganic salts take place by the renal blood capillaries. The remaining liquid, along with some additional wastes such as urea and uric acid, is passed through both the ureters and collected in the urinary bladder. The urine from the kidneys reaches into the urinary bladder via ureters. When the urinary bladder is full, urine is passed out from the body through the. What is the composition of urine? The major organic constituents of the human urine are urea, which is 2.3 gram per liter. Depending upon the amount left after reabsorption, uric acid is 0.7 gram per liter, creatinine is 1.5 gram per liter. The inorganic constituents of urine are sodium chloride 9 gram per liter, potassium chloride 2.5 gram per liter, sulfuric acid 0.3 gram per liter, ammonia 0.6 gram per liter, and other things 2.5 gram per liter. During the summers, water is lost in the form of sweat from the body. As a result, more water is absorbed by the filtrate of glomerulus to keep the fluid balance in the body. That is why the urine is slightly thicker, yellowish and less in quantity in summers than it is in winter. In winters, the frequency of urination becomes more than summer because it helps in maintaining the body temperature. The abnormal constituents found in the urine and the diseases which are caused by them. When excess of sugar is found in urine, the possible diseases caused are diabetes, jaundice, and glucosuria. If bile pigments are found in the urine, then the possible disease may be jaundice. If blood cells are present, then the kidney damage. If pus cells are present in urine, then kidney infection. And if excess of water is present, then it means diabetes insipidus. What is osmoregulation? It is a process by which amount of water, minerals and salt of the blood inside the body of a living organism is maintained. Kidney maintains the steady concentration of blood that flows through them. If the blood is too dilute, less water is reabsorbed, leaving more to enter the urinary bladder and passes out in urine. If there is shortage of water in the body due to sweating, small volume of concentrated urine is produced. These steady processes maintain the level of water and mineral salts in the blood and together are called osmoregulation. In human beings, the parts of the brain called hypothalamus is responsible for the osmoregulation of blood in the body. Osmoregulation is very important because changes in the blood and tissue fluid can have a great effect on the body cells. If there is more water, then the water moves into the cells by the osmosis and cause them to swell and even burst. If there is less water, then the water will move out of the cells, causing them shrink. Therefore, in both the cases, normal functioning of the body will be hampered. The malfunctioning, or you can say the improper functioning of the urinary system causes certain disorders. It includes any diseases, disorder or condition that affect the function of any part of the urinary system. The urinary tract infection and the kidney stones are the common types of urinary system disorders. So first we will study about the urinary tract infection, in short called UTI. So UTI is caused when the bacteria get into the urinary bladder or the kidneys, ureters and the urethra. It is very common in children. However, people of any age can get infected by the UTIs. The common symptoms for the urinary tract infection are burning or a stinging sensation while urination, an increased urge or more frequent need to urinate, fever, vomiting, and a feeling of nausea and discomfort, waking up at night a lot to go to the bathroom, belly pain in the area of the urinary bladder, foul smelling urine that may look cloudy or contain blood. An infection that travels up the ureters to the kidneys is usually more serious. It can cause permanent failure of the kidneys. In case of kidney failure, the blood is purified by an artificial method called dialysis. The steps involved in dialysis are: the blood from the renal artery of hand is made to pass through the tube of the machine, which is made up of semi-permeable membrane kept in blood plasma. As the blood gets pumped through the tube, molecules of urea and uric acid diffuse out into the dialysis fluid. The purified blood is then pumped back into the patient's body through the renal vein. The next common disorder of the urinary system, the kidney stones. They are the small masses of salt and minerals that accumulate inside the kidneys and may travel down the urinary tract. The kidney stones range in size from just a speck to as big as tennis ball. That is, they may be very small or large in size. The symptoms are blood in the urine and pain in the abdomen. Surgical techniques are used for stones which do not pass through the ureters to the bladder on their own. What are the differences between excretory products and the waste products? The nitrogenous wastes like urea, uric acid and ammonia, which are excreted by the kidneys, are the excretory products. The waste product of our body include the material which is thrown out of the body as it is no more required. So carbon dioxide is a waste product and it is exhaled out by the lungs. Undigested food is also a waste matter and is thrown out by the rectum. The excess water and minerals are also thrown out with the urine. Thank you.